Okay, let's go ahead and get the show on the road. Let's go ahead and look over qualifying real quick for the 250 and 450 class. Jolly had again top qualifier with a 59.8. Rasmus Balzer, Lucas Schwartner, Thomas Bento, Holden Coate, Lewis Gorin, Daniel Olson, Rico Delat, Braden Tharp, and John Howman round out your top 10. Over to 450, Yannick Bloom with a 58.5, half a second faster than the next qualifier. Trevor Burns, Austin Eklund, Riley Hewen, Andoni Escura, Johnny Padani, Clint Martin, Cody Saunderson, Michelle Fagion, and Dale Mullins rounding out your top 10. Let's go ahead and move on to the track preview along with the races. We're going to go on board with Riley Hewen for the track preview. Okay, and let's go ahead and get straight into racing, starting off with 250 heat number 1 on the gate. We're going to go on board with Rasmus Balzer for the start. And the gate is down, and they are away for the AU Series. And it looks like it's going to be Braden Tharp getting the whole shot on the inside on that Galaxy Yamaha ride. He's going to lead into the first turn. As we see riders going down, that's going to be Jack Gallen. I believe that's Max. No? That was... I'm not even sure. So Braden Tharp already surrendering the lead to Loris Modard. Braden Tharp, Lewis Gorin, Rogan McIntosh, Hayden Stevenson, Zane Durrell, Aaron McDonald, Max Spokes. As we see a rider down in the rhythm section. As Loris Modard are under fire from Braden Tharp early into this heat race, as they are both in a transfer position at the moment. There is really no need for them to get real dicey with each other. As Loris jumping off the track, we see Tharp starting to get caught up to by Lewis Gorin, Hayden Stevenson, and Trevor Burns following in suit. Aaron McDonald, Rogan McIntosh, and a little bit of a battle with Chandler Rogers. Jack Gallen and Antoine Makarin, I hope that's right, go down together in the corners. They are, as it looks like Jack was able to get that rhythm section as Antoine goes down again. That's going to let a whole group of people by. And looks like Tharp is down in the whoop section, is going to get up in 9th place, just ahead of Evan Holt, Jack Gallen, and Max Spokes. This top 9 group, everybody outside the top 10 right now is in a very close battle with each other. Braden Tharp pulling a little bit of a gap, but it is still fairly close. Back up to the front, we see Loris Modard battling with Lois Gorin. And as they are pulled out a little bit, as we see Lois get the quad into the middle of the rhythm section. That's going to allow him to gain just a little bit of time, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to carry as much speed through the rhythm as Loris. As we see rider down, that's going to be Aaron McDonald. Back up to the front. Loris still holding on to that lead. As we see Trevor Spencer in the 3rd place position, Hayden Stevenson holding on to that 4th place. Rasmus Balzer making a mistake in P5. Chandler Rogers 6 under fire from Braden Tharp, who's in P7 as he makes the pass around the outside. That's going to move Rogers back to 7th. Rogan in 8th as we see Tharp going cartwheeling. That's going to let Rogers back into 6th, Rogan into 7th. And it looks like Tharp is going to get passed by Sonny Spicer and Jack Gatlin. That should put him back into, I believe, the 10th place position. Yes. Jack Gatlin, currently your rider on the bubble. Hopefully trying to make it straight into the main event. As he goes down, that's going to let Spicer get back by along with Braden Tharp. It may open the door for Antoine to get by as he runs into him. A little bit off track excursion there. And Aaron McDonald is going to get by both of them as we see Antoine front flipping. And Max Boakes making the pass on him. Back up front, Loris has pulled out a fairly decent gap over Trevor Spencer. And Lois Groen falling back to that 3rd place position. Rasmus Balzer 4th. Rogan in 5th. Hayden Stevenson falls back to 6th place. Tharp into 7th. Rogers 8th. And Spicer in that 9th place position. And the move up the inside by Antoine on Jack Gatlin. It's going to be a drag race through the rhythm section as it looks like Antoine cases, and that's going to let Jack get that position clean. As Loris, your leader, is down, that's going to let Lewis Gorin back into the lead. And Trevor Spencer is going to get on by, and they're down again with Rasmus and Loris. That's going to open the door for, it looks like, Rogan coming out of the whoop section to maybe get by at least one of them, which he does. And Hayden Stevenson's right on the back of Loris, your heat leader at the time. As Lewis makes a mistake. Let's go on board with Trevor Spencer for the lap. And never mind, because we don't use a first-person jam. Rogan McIntosh and Rasmus in a close battle for that, I believe that's 3rd place position, yes. As Rasmus gets the position from Rogan. Loris back in that 5th place. Stevenson 6th. Tharp still in 7th place. Rogers 8th. And Spicer in 9th. You see Spicer make a little mistake in the berm, but still keeping it up on 2 wheels. I streamed the NA race as well, Hayden, so if you do want to post your skins on the forum, I will go ahead and get those downloaded for the next round. As white flag is out for the lead lap riders. Lewis Mordard with a fairly comfortable gap. As long as he doesn't fall, he shouldn't lose the lead to Trevor Spencer, but anything can happen, especially with how sketchy this track has been for some of these riders, especially the whoop section. It's been a real trouble spot for everybody. Rasmus coming around, I believe that's Max Spokes that he's lapping. As Rogan has a very decent gap over Loris, who goes down in the whoops. Hayden Stevenson fending off his position. That should open the door for Tharp to move up 1 position. No, he is a little bit too far back for it. But Lois Gorin, ever since he got the lead from Modard, has held the lead and has not looked back. And he's looking to be your 250 heat number 1 winner. Followed by, looks like it's going to be Trevor Spencer holding on for that second place position. Rasmus Balzer is going to take your third place in the heat race. Followed by Rogan McIntosh. Hayden Stevenson will end up in the 5th place position as long as he can hold on for the rest of the 2 sections that he has left on the track. Braden Tharp will follow in that 6th place position, followed by Loris Modard. Antoine will end up in the 8th place position, and Jack Gatlin will round out your heat race transfers. And we will load into the heat 2. And thank you for all the follows. I appreciate it. And on the gate for the 250 Heat 2, we're going to go on board with Lucas Schwartner for this start on the JIBR Co. ride. And the gate is down for the 250 Heat 2, as it looks like it's going to be Rico DeLatte getting the start on that I-Spec Honda ride. Followed by John Heilman, Luca, J.R. Reyes, Lennart Schmidt, who is passed by Thomas Bentos. We see a little bit of a pileup before that Supercross triple. A lot of carnage at the first lap of this heat race, as Rico DeLatte is going to start trying to build his lead, trying to get out in front, not look back the entire heat race. Heilman looking good on that Phil's Honda, as per usual. The bike is always looking good for them. JR in 3rd, Luca 4th. Moses making mistakes, going to fall back a few positions. That's going to let Javi Ruiz, as we see a rider down. That's Rico that falls down out of the 1st place position. That's going to let John Heilman get up into that 1st place spot. Luca moves into 2nd, JR 3rd, Javi Ruiz 4th, Thomas Bento 5th, Moses 6th, Noah Hoke is gonna, okay, this is a whole shakeup, man. Everybody's going for the kill on each other. As Heilman's down, that's going to let Luca in the lead. And it looks like a few riders are going to get by. J.R. Reyes and Javi Ruiz is going to get past Heilman. Thomas Bento close behind. Moses, Noah Hoke, and Rico DeLatte, I believe, round out your top 9. No, that will be Brady Willett. You go back up to the front, and Luca is starting to gain a little bit of a lead over JR. I'll do it after this heat. I keep forgetting I have to do it. And I will be doing a little bit of a break in between the heats and LCQs, along with the LCQs in the main, just to, go get water and whatever. As Luca is still out front with a very comfortable lead over JR. Heilman moves up into 3rd, Bento 4th, Ruiz 5th, Hoke 6th, Lat 7th, Willett 8th, and Carson West moves into that 9th place position, followed by Alex Griffiths right outside in the top 10. As that was Noah Hoke going down, that's going to allow Alex Griffiths into that top 9. And back out front with Heilman taking over the lead. looks like Luca has fallen back a decent amount, falls back into the 6th place position. Griffiths moves up to 7th, West 8th, and Noah Hoke in 9th. Leonard Schmidt not too far behind, still has a chance of getting into the main event. Straight from the heat. Heilman doesn't look to be checking out from Thomas Bento, as we'll go on board with the 2nd place rider and see what pace is looking like for them, as he ran a 1:03.5 last lap. Done a 1:02.9 last lap following Heilman's 1:04.7. Rico DeLatte moves up into the 3rd place position over Javi Ruiz. JR Reyes falls back to that 5th place position. He's down. That's going to let Noah Hope go by, along with, I believe, that would be Carson West and Leonard Schmidt. As Griffiths in the 10th place position, right behind JR Reyes. See, Juan Gomes in 11th place, followed by Joshua, I'm not even going to try to pronounce his last name, Braden Willett, John O'Hewitt, Jose Pomador, and Lucas King. Back up to the front, Heilman takes the white flag. As his gap has gotten a little bit bigger over the last lap from Thomas Bento. Looks like JR has fallen outside of the top 9. Actually back to 11th. As Alex Griffiths is on the bubble. See how this plays out as far as if he makes a mistake and Leonard's able to get around, or if JR is going to try as well. Back up to the front as Heilman takes the heat win in 250 Heat 2, followed by Thomas Bento, as we see Ryder go down. Lucas Schwartner right on Javi Ruiz for that 3rd place position. He makes the move down the inside, the cut back by Javi. And it looks like Luca, as long as he doesn't make a mistake, will round out your podium for this heat. Javi Ruiz takes home 4th, Noah Hoke 5th, Carson West 6th, Rico DeLatte looks like he'll take 7th. Alex Griffiths 8th, and JR Reyes will end up in that 9th place position. We see a pair of riders falling down in the last corner. And after cuts, it looks like Juan's going to get in over JR Reyes. There are a few seconds of cuts for JR. Did put him outside of that top 9 transfer position. And we're going to go to a brief intermission while I go ahead and switch everything over for the next heats. And 450 heat 1. And on the gate for the 450 heat 1, we're going to go on board with Aaron Rockefeller for this heat. And the gate is down for 450 heat 1 as we see Aaron get a decent jump as he goes down in the first corner. That's going to give the whole shot to Riley Hewen, followed by Yannick Bloom, Pablo Vial. Not going to even try. Cody Saunderson, Jake Cawthorn, and a huge pileup before that Supercross triple again, just like the 250 Heat 2, as Hewen's going to surrender the lead to Yannick Bloom on the JIBR Co. Racing KTM. Riley Hewen on the Galaxy Yamaha, following close behind. Mads Boll moves into that third place position, followed by Pablo Vial, Jack Mark, Oliver Robertson, Dennis Fjellberg on the Phil's Honda, Cody Saunderson on Bakery Film Co., and Emilian Mabru. And a rider down, that's going to be Oliver Albertson. That's going to allow Aaron Rockefeller to move into that 9th place position, and he makes the move up the inside of Cody Saunderson. As Saunderson's down as a pileup forms in that corner, as Cawthorn moves through into that 8th place position, followed by Jack Mark. And Cody Saunderson up the inside, that's going to move him into the 9th place position. Back up front, Yannick Bloom, still holding on to the lead over Riley Hewen, but still a close battle between them. Mads Boll is going to get passed by Pablo Vial for the 3rd place position, as he makes the move back up the inside on Vial. As a pileup again, and not so much of a pileup, just a one rider goes down in that rhythm section. Gonna allow Cody Saunderson, I believe, to move up into the 10th place position. Yes, so he's going to be chasing down Jack Mark, who makes a mistake coming out of the whoop section. As he makes a move up the inside, makes the pass on Jack Mark. A little bit of lag coming into play on that pass. As we go back out front, and Yannick is still in the lead as he's pulled a fairly large gap over Hewen. As they are already coming into lap riders. And it seems like the field, for the most part, is starting to spread out within over a second of each other. As Dennis in the 7th place position is going for 6th place over Emilian Mabru. Cody Saunderson moves up into P8 as Jack Mark is in P9. Greg Conrad real close in the P10 spot, followed by Johnny the Prod Padani. as Hewen has gotten caught by Pablo Vial along with Mads Bull and Aaron Rockefeller. So a close battle for the second place position in this 450 Heat 1. As Vial looks up the inside of Hewen. Little mistake by Huey coming out of that whoop section, but still able to get the triple in and the quad triple after. Getting a little bit of a gap over Vial, who had to go double triple. And it looks like Padani has moved up into that 9th place position, bumping out Jack Mark. As we see Greg Conrad make a mistake after the finish going into the whoop section. And we see Jack Mark go down, so that's going to move Jake Hawthorne into the, I believe that's 11th place position, yes. Back out front with Yannick Bloom will go on board for a lap with him. With a 25.8 second lead in this heat race. A commanding lead, that's for sure. As Vial moves into second, Saunderson up to third, Fjellberg fourth, Hewen moves back to 5th place. Rockefeller still holding on to 6th, Emilian in 7th as he barrel rolls. Matt's Bowl goes down, and that's going to allow Padani to move up into that 6th place position, moving Emilian back to 7th. Or, I'm sorry, 8th, and then Jake Cawthorne moves up into that 9th place position. As the white flag is out for your leader, who's actually coming up to lap these riders. Not too far back off of them. As Hewen moves... Oh, as the rider goes down, Hewen has to avoid Pablo Vial. That's going to put him back up in the 4th place position. Dennis back into 3rd. And Saunderson's going to be in 2nd as Bloom takes your 450 Heat 1 win by a very commanding lead. Saunderson is going to take home your 2nd place position, and Dennis Fjellberg will round out your podium for this heat, followed by Riley Hewen. Pablo Vial looks like he's going to hold on to 5th place. Aaron Rockefeller in 6th. Johnny Padani should hold on to the 7th place. Emilian's going to follow in 8th. And Jake Cawthorne's going to round out your heat transfers in that 9th place position. Oh no! Mads Bowl looks like he went backwards over the finish. And on the gate for 450 Heat 2, as we'll go on board with, I guess, Jack Clancy for the start. And the gate is down for 450 Heat 2. And it looks like it's going to be Austin Eklund getting the whole shot, followed by Trevor Burns, Logan Heagney, Dale Mullins making the move up the inside of Logan. As we see Austin go down, that's going to allow Dale Mullins to get the lead. Trevor Burns still in second. Clint moves up to fourth as he jumps off the side of the Supercross triple. And man, this is a whole cluster right now. Dale first, Trevor second, Brock Pearson moves up into the third place position, followed by Logan in fourth. Ryan Thompson's in sixth now as he gets passed by Ronan Wassel. That's going to let Clint Martin get back by Ryan Thompson, Leon Ty, and Austin Eklund, I believe, rounds out your top 9. Followed by Brody Barton, who's getting passed by Braden Carter. So your series defending champion did decide to show up to the race this week, as for whatever reason he is not running his own bike and gear. As we see Leon Ty go down at the end of the rhythm section, as Trevor Burns is going after Dale Mullins for that first place position on the Dale riding his Privateer KTM, followed by Trevor on the EVP Yamaha. And Heagney still going after Brock Pearson in that for that third place position. Ronan Wassel and Clint Martin battling for sixth, I'm sorry. As looks like Clint is going to make the move, and Ronan will go down in the next corner. That's going to allow Austin to get by, along with Ryan Thompson and Brock Pearson, who made a mistake. Brody Barton makes a aggressive move on Brock Pearson. I know that's not going to sit well with Brock, known to be one of the more aggressive riders in this field. As we see the number 1 plate not too far behind of the transfer position. As 2 riders go down collecting Braden, that's going to be Brock Pearson and Ronan Wassel, teammates. Brody Barton making a mistake in the corner. That's going to move Cody Schatt into the 8th place position and Ruben Galvez into 9th, followed by Andoni Escura in 10th, Ronan Wassel 11th, Brock Pearson 12th, and Braden Carter in 13th. Back up front, we see Clint Martin has taken the lead, with Austin Eklund following suit. Dale Mullins in 3rd, and Trevor Burns making the move up inside of Dale, as it's going to be a drag race through the rhythm section for this 3rd place position, as it looks like Dale's going to go down. Trevor Burns takes over that 3rd place position, and Dale will lose a spot to a few riders, including Ryan Thompson, Logan Heagney, Brody Barton, but they'll still remain in that transfer position. Back out front with Clint Martin, who looks to be flowing on that number 2 Galaxy Yamaha. Trevor Burns moves back into that 2nd place. Heagney moves up to 3rd, Brody Barton in 4th, as we see a pileup with Dale Mullins, Ryan Thompson, and Austin Eklund was collected into that. Andoni Escura moves up into, I believe that's the 6th place position. Ryan Thompson 7th, Ruben Galvez 8th. He makes a mistake. That's going to let Dale Mullins into that 8th place position, and Brock Pearson into the final transfer spot. As Heagney makes a mistake getting, it looks like, tied up with a lapped rider. That's going to cause him to lose he's going to lose the spot to Ryan Thompson, and he's going to actually go down, along with another pileup with the same lapper. Dale Mullins is going to get caught up with it. Ruben Galvez got caught up in it a little bit, and so did Brock Pearson. As Cody Schatt moves into a transfer spot as Logan Heagney makes a little mistake, falling back into 10th place. Braden Carter moves up into your 12th place spot over Dale Mullins, as he makes another mistake and goes down. Back up to the front, we still see Clint Martin out in the lead, followed by Trevor Burns, Austin Eklund, Andoni Escura, Ryan Thompson, Brody Barton, Ruben Galvez, and Brock Pearson. And with 2 to go for these riders, we see Trevor Burns still in that second place position. As Clinton Martin goes down after the whoop section, that's going to let Burns take over the lead. Doesn't look like Austin Eklund is going to be able to get to him before he gets up, so he should still maintain that second place position as he makes another mistake, and it is going to allow Austin to close up right behind him. As we see Brody Barton down in the corner, that's going to allow Ryan Thompson to get by. And Logan makes another mistake in the corner, following into that P8 position, followed by Ruben, who is battling with Carter for the final transfer spot. As Carter makes the pass and Ruben goes down after the whoop section, that's going to allow Dale Mullins to get by into that 10th place position. And I believe, Logan Heagney was down as well, so that's going to move him back to 10th as Dale moves into the last transfer position. As the leader takes the white flag, and he has a good gap over Austin Eklund, who got past his teammate Clint, who went down after the whoop section. Looks like he had a very poor lap last lap, as he chooses to go triple over, double out of the rhythm section. As Ronan Walsall goes down, that's going to allow Carter to get by. That's going to move him up into the 7th place. Ronan holds on to 8th, and Hegney will pick up in 9th. Oh no, Dale Mullins got by. That's going to move Hegney still into 10th place. As your leader is getting ready to take the checkered flag for the 450 heat number 2. As he goes down in the last corner, that's going to allow Austin Eklund to close up a little bit, but I don't think he's going to be able to get by him. As Trevor Burns will win your 450 heat number 2, followed by Austin Eklund in 2nd place. And Andonius Cura back in 3rd, still with a good amount of track left to cover, followed by Brody Barton. Braden Carter moves up into the 5th place position. Ryan Thompson 6th, Ronan Walsall 7th, Brock Pearson 8th. Dale Mullins holding on to that 9th place transfer position as Clinton Martin has fallen back all the way to 10th place after being in 3rd at the beginning of the lap. As we see Brody Barton cross in 4th, Carter crossing in 5th. Ryan Thompson making a mistake, but may still hold on. No, he's going to get past as Carter gets 5th, Walsall 6th, Thompson 7th. Brock Pearson finishes up 8th, and Dale Mullins rounds out your top 9 transfer position as Ruben Galvez crosses at 10th. Quint Martin 11th. Logan Heagney in 12th. And Cody Schett should be coming around in the 13th place position as he goes down over the berm, but 14th has already finished, so he will not lose a position. As we see Trevor Burns flipping over the berm. And nobody loses a position off of cuts. The running order stays the same. And we are going to take a little bit of a break in between the heats and LCQs, so I'll be right back in just a minute. Yikes. That's my bad. As Joshua maintaining the lead over Evan Holt, with a decent gap to Jonathan Hewitt in third, Nathan Goldman in fourth. Sonny Spicer moves up into that fifth place position. J.R. Reyes and Moses Roeder battling Leonard Schmidt, Max Spokes, Braden Willett. Chandler Rogers going down. That's going to let Willett get back by. Lucas King and Zane Durrell, who crashed out of the second place position. Back up to the front, Joshua looking very comfortable in this LCQ. Jonathan Hewitt rolling the triple before the finish. Still holding on to that third place position. Sonny Spicer moves into fourth. J.R. Reyes and Nathan Goldman go down. That's going to let Moses Roeder back into fifth place. And he goes down after the whoops, but does not get a fall off from it. As a bunch of riders are going down out of the whoop section, that's going to let Max Spokes get by into the sixth place. But a good gap for Sonny Spicer to work with, holding on to the fourth place position. We'll go back up front with Joshua. He makes a mistake in the corner after the finish. Still a good gap to Evan, though, to hold on for that lead. Hewitt still in third, Spicer still in fourth, with a very large gap to Moses Roeder. See a rider sitting off the side of the track. As Joshua has seemed to go down, that's going to let Evan Holt get by, moving into that first place position. As Sonny Spicer makes a mistake, that's going to let Max Spokes get a little bit closer. As Joshua's gotten back by Evan Holt for the lead. Sonny Spicer making a mistake in the rhythm section. That's going to let Matt close in even more, as long as he can get through it clean as well. Nope. As Joshua makes another mistake coming out of the whoop section, that's going to let Evan close in again. Along with Jonathan Hewitt and Sonny Spicer still rounding out your top four transfers. As Evan Holt takes back over the lead as Jonathan Hewitt moves into second, Joshua moves back into third. Spicer still holding on to fourth with a fairly comfortable gap over Max Spokes. As white flag is out for the leaders. Look back to your last transfer position. Still with a fairly large gap. and Evan Holt will be your 250 LCQ winner, followed by Jonathan Hewitt, Joshua Dalglish, I assume that's how it's said, is third. Sonny Spicer will follow up in fourth as your last transfer position. And just missing out on the main event this week will be Max Spokes in that 5th place spot. And no position changes for the 250 LCQ. We will move into the 450 LCQ next. On the gate for your 450 LCQ, we will go on board with Clinton Martin for the start. And the gate is down and away for the 450 LCQ. And it looks like it's going to be Jack Mark with the hole shot, followed by Mads Bold, and Logan Heagney moves up into that 2nd place position. Cody Schatt and Mads Bold again getting tied up, as again riders going down before that Supercross triple has been a huge issue for some of these guys. So Jack Mark, Logan Heagney, Ruben Galvez, and Nico Marchini. As Heagney in the number 1 spot, followed by Ruben Galvez, Jack Mark, and Nico Marchini still. Close behind, though, Cody Schatt and Clint Martin exiting the whoops, about a second or so behind. As Cody Schatt and Clint Martin both go down before the Supercross triple again, that's going to let Leon Ty by into that 5th place position. As Logan Heagney's kind of finding his own in this track. Still struggling through the whoops, but nonetheless getting through them. As Jack Mark gets the pass on Ruben Galvez as they both pedal, and Ruben ends up slowing himself down as Jack Mark moves into that 2nd place spot. Followed closely by Nico in P4, looking for that 3rd place spot over Ruben. As Leon makes a mistake and gets into Clint again, but neither rider get a full fall off. Back up front with your leader, Logan Heagney. As Ruben and Nico going after it for that second place position, as it looks like Ruben's going to make the move up the inside and keep second place. As Jack Mark falls back to fourth, right in the grasp of Leon Ty in fifth. That's going to, but Cody Schatt and Clint Martin have both caught up to them. That is going to make this battle for the last transfer spot a little bit more interesting, as we see Jack Mark going through the inside tough blocks. As Nico Marchini has gone down, that's going to move Leon Ty into fourth. As Higney has a very, very comfortable gap in that lead position. Over 20-second lead right now over Ruben Galvez, Jack Mark, Leon Ty, Cody Schatt, Nico Marchini, and Clint Martin. As Mads Bowl has disconnected from the race, and Clint Martin being a fair ways down from a transfer position, as we see Nico and Cody Schatt make a mistake in the corner after the whoop section. As this battle for fourth still has not let up yet, as Clint Martin has kind of found his way back into a chance to make it in through the LCQ, as we see Cody Schatt flipping off the side of the track out of the whoop section. This race so far has been all Logan Higney since the start of the race. As he moves in, I believe he will be taking that white flag this time by. As Clint Martin in that fifth place position, chasing down Jack Mark. This battle has gotten very close now. And Logan Higney through the last physical rhythm section of the track. Coming into the last corner, will take your 450 LCQ win. Make it straight into that main event. As Clint Martin has made up a tremendous amount of time this last lap, but makes a mistake going into this last rhythm. He's going to have to hope for a takeout or something from Jack Mark. As Leon Ty is going to make a mistake and go down, that's going to allow Clint to get by and move him into that fourth place position. As Ty tries to make a move up the inside, that's going to let Clint Martin get fourth place. Jack Mark third and Ruben Galvez second. Leon Ty is just going to fall short in that fifth place spot. And that is going to be your main event as Clint Martin moves up into third, actually, and Jack Mark falls back to fourth. As we're going to move into the 250 main event. And let's go through a run through of everybody in this 250 main event. Starting with Braden Tharp, Carson West, Thomas Bento, Lucas Schwartner, Jonathan Hewitt, Lois Gorin, Jack Gatlin, Alex Griffiths, Antoine Marcaron, Rasmus Balzer, Javi Ruiz, Joshua Dalglish, I don't know, Tony Spicer, Hayden Stevenson, Trevor Spencer, John Heilman, Evan Holt, Rico DeLatte, Noah Hoke, Loris Modard, Juan Gomes, Rogan McIntosh will round out your top 22 for this main event. And we will go on board with Noah Hoke for this. Start of the 250 main event. And the gate is down for this 250 main. And it looks like it's going to be Loris Modard with the start, followed by Thomas Bento, Hayden Stevenson, and Juan Gomes. As we don't see near as many people going down after that over-under jump this time by. As early into this main event, Thomas Bento will take the lead from Loris Modard after a slight mistake in that rhythm section. Rasmus Balzer moves up into the third place spot, followed by Hayden Stevenson, Juan Gomes, Antoine Mercaron, Rogan McIntosh, Carson West, Lois Gorin, Jack Gatlin, Sonny Spicer, Lucas Schwartner, Javi Ruiz, Trevor Spencer, Jonathan Hewitt, Alex Griffiths, and a little bit of a mistake from Griffiths coming out of that section is going to slow some people down. Rico DeLatte and Braden Tharp in the last place position after making 2 spots in that rhythm from 2 down riders. That would be Evan Holt and Noah Hope that made that mistake. Back out front, Loris Modard has reclaimed the lead. Rasmus Balzer, Thomas Bento following suit. As Modard's going to make a mistake, that's going to let Balzer by. Modard forced to double along with Bento. As Heilman goes down off the back of Trevor Spencer, that's going to let Javi and Joshua by, along with Alex Griffiths from the Bakery Kawasaki team. Back out front, Rasmus Balzer starting to pull a little bit of a gap over second and third place Thomas and Loris. As we see Rogan McIntosh make a move up the inside. Rogan makes a little bit of a mistake. That's going to let Gorin get right up close to him. As Spicer goes down, that's going to let Bento back up into the top 10. Back out front, Rogan McIntosh is taking the lead from Rasmus Balzer. Looks like he made a little bit of a mistake. And while we're at it, we'll go ahead and do a top 10 rundown. Rogan McIntosh in first, Rasmus Balzer second, Carson West third, Lois Gorin fourth, Juan Gomez fifth, Hayden Stevenson sixth, Trevor Spencer seventh, Thomas Bento eighth, Antoine Mercaron ninth, and Heilman in 10th. As it looks like Heilman's going to make the move up the inside and take Mercaron down. That'll let Boris Modard into 9th as Heilman falls still back into 10th. As these riders are getting a little racy for how early it is in the main event. As Rasmus gets passed back by Rogan after taking the lead for a short period of time. And Rogan electing to go inside before the whoop section, wheelies and takes both of them out. Oh, Rasmus is the only one that goes a full legs off, but Rogan did make a very large mistake. That's going to let West move into second. As we see a rider in the dirt, that's going to be Hayden Stevenson getting passed by Thomas and Lois Gorin. Modard makes a mistake coming out of the whoops along with Antoine, allowing Heilman to build up just a little bit of a gap over those two. Back out front with Rogan McIntosh. We'll go on board for the rest of this lap with him. As he backflips off of a lapper and lands it. Okay. Turns a 102.9, followed by Rasmus Balzer with a 101.5. As this battle between Gorin, Bento, and Heilman still has not let up for the last 2 laps. All three within a second of each other as we fall back to Hayden Stevenson. And we see Tharp from last place has moved up to 13th so far. He makes a mistake landing the finish, having to go inside before the whoops. Little sketchy coming out as we see Rico De Lat close behind in 14th. Noah Hope 15th. Luca Schwartner in 16th. Not what we expected to see from Luca, but first round jitters are getting to a lot of people this week. Back out front with Rogan McIntosh as we see Rasmus has closed in the gap just a little bit. As they aren't really pulling away from Carson West all too much. Trevor Spencer still following suit in 4th. Juan Gomes still in 5th. Heilman 6th. Bento 7th. Mercaron 8th. Modard 9th. And Hayden Stevenson in 10th. Back out front with your leader. riders down in the rhythm section behind, that would be... Looked like that was Trevor Spencer, as he's getting by a lapper. As Balzer's made the move into first place. As we see a huge pileup in the corner before the finish, including Antoine, Juan, and a few lappers. Antoine getting the better end out of that, moving up into 5th place. Bento 6th. As he goes down, that's going to let Loris... No, Bento got through it clean. That was Loris Gorin and a lapper getting together. As the two front runners have pulled away a hefty amount from Carson West so far. But not to worry for him, he has a very large gap to Trevor Spencer behind. Juan Gomez going down, that's going to let the lapper by, along with Lois Gorin and Loris Modard. And another pileup of riders that looks to be a lapped rider down as Juan Gomez goes down. Heilman getting passed by Loris Modard. Hayden Stevenson forced to take an alternate line after messing up in the corner along with Rico DeLatte. As Heilman's down in the corner before the finish. And Braden Tharp looks like he's even going to get by as he backflips, tries to backflip in the middle of the corner. As he boner airs over the finish and goes legs off, that's going to allow Juan to get by, along with John Heilman, who makes a mistake in the next corner, Loris Modard. A whole big group of riders all in this tight little area as a lot of people are starting to make mistakes. Even Rasmus Balzer's in this pack. I believe he's lapping as Rogan McIntosh goes flipping with a lapper. Rasmus Balzer going down with another lapper. That's going to allow Tharp to get unlapped, along with Heilman and a few other riders. As we see, Balzer is lapping well into the top 10 at the moment. As Modard is in 9th, and he's one of the next people to get lapped, along with Tharp and Heilman. As Tharp goes down, that's going to allow Griffiths to get by, collecting Lucas Schwartner and Hayden Stevenson. And Balzer is going to be able to get through unscathed as the leader. We'll check in with lap times. This is his fastest lap of the session is a 1 minute .7. Go on board for this next lap after having to battle through a bunch of lap riders. Rasmus almost hits the inside leader pole. He's not running spectacularly fast laps. He's just kind of trying to navigate through all these lapped riders, which is really all he has to do to make sure that he doesn't lose the lead as he almost goes through the front door. With a 102.7 having to fight through all the lapped riders, we'll see what Rogan comes along the line with. A 103 flat. As Carson West still holding on to 3rd place. Antoine moving up into 4th. Thomas Bento 5th. Trevor Spencer 6th. As he goes down, that's going to let Lois Gorin move into that 6th place spot. Rico DeLatte 8th, Alex Griffiths 9th, and Hayden Stevenson rounding out your top 10. And he's not going to be able to beat the clock, so it is going to be white flag coming out for your lead lap riders. Brogan McIntosh, not super far behind, actually made up about 3 seconds last lap. They do have a very healthy gap over Carson West and Antoine Macaron at the time being. Thomas Bento making a move up the inside of the lapped riders. As I believe Rasmus just put your 8th place rider down? Or 9th place rider a lap down? And Rasmus Eriksson coming to the finish line is going to be your 250 main event winner for the Anaheim 1 Australia version. As Rogan McIntosh is going to come along in 2nd place. And it looks like Antoine Macaron is going to actually round out your podium for this 250 main event, as he makes a mistake in the last turn. That's going to let Thomas Bento by. That's going to allow Bento to round out the podium for this 250 main event. Antoine comes along in 4th. Gorin in 5th. Trevor Spencer almost going down in 6th, but that's going to let Carson West by. West is going to hold on for 6th. Spencer 7th. DeLatte 8th. Griffiths 9th. And Swartner rounding out your top 10. We'll wait for the rest of the riders to come along and finish, and we'll see if anything's affected by the cuts post-race. And it looks like nobody moves at all for the finishing positions. Top 10 stays the same. And we will move on to our 450 main event. And we will go through your list of riders for this 450 main event. Starting off with Brock Pearson, Ruben Galvez, Dennis Fjellberg, Emilian Mavru, Jake Cawthorn, Johnny Pradani, Ronan Wassel, Ryan Thompson, Riley Hewen, Andoni Escura, Alison Eklund, Braden Carter, your defending series champion, Clint Martin, Yannick Bloom, Dale Mullins, Jack Mark, Aaron Rockefeller, Trevor Burns, Logan Heagney, Pablo Vial, Brody Barton, Cody Saunderson, and that is it. And we'll go on board with Aaron Rockefeller again for this 450 main event start. And a very bad start out of Aaron, who's known for being a very good starter. That's going to allow Austin Eklund to get the whole shot, followed by Yannick Bloom, Cody Saunderson, Ruben Galvez, Brody Barton, and Aaron Rockefeller. And a great start for Austin Eklund, exactly where he wants to be, being your defending NA Series champion. Yannick Bloom, your top qualifier by over half a second to the next person, Trevor Burns. As we see riders getting piled up behind, Saunderson making the move on Brody Barton as Van Rockefeller makes a mistake, allowing Dale Mullins and Trevor Burns to get by. As we see a rider go down, that was the number 54, Ruben Galvez, who goes down on the back of Trevor Burns, as Burns makes a mistake in the corner after running into Braden Carter, who moves up into the 5th place position, followed by Aaron Rockefeller and Trevor Burns. Back out to the lead, Yannick Bloom has taken the lead from Austin Eklund, followed by Cody Saunderson and Brody Barton, and Braden Carter not far off of 4th place right now. Trevor Burns getting by Aaron Rockefeller early into the lap. Can't say I don't expect that. As Bloom has put a gap on Austin Eklund, it looks like, as Cody Saunderson has caught up to him. It looks like he may have made a mistake. Carter getting by Barton and closely followed by Trevor Burns. Dale Mullins in your 9th place position, and rounding out the top 10 is Ruben Galvez. Dennis Fjellberg with a little gap to make up, followed by Ronan Wastel, Brock Pearson, Brian Thompson, Riley Hewen, Pablo Vial, Clint Martin, Jake Cawthorn, Andoni Escura, Logan Heagney, Jack Mark, Johnny Padani is in the last. Back up to the front, Yannick Bloom. As Trevor Burns is down after getting into that. Oh, he's fallen back a lot. Oh, he was on the opposite rhythm lane. So he's going to move in just in front of Carter. Passed by Aaron Rockefeller, Emilian Mabru, and Cody Saunderson, along with Brody Barton. As that's going to put Brody in the 3rd, Saunderson 4th, Mabru 5th. Rockefeller making the move, moves into 5th place. Mabru falls back to 6th, Carter 7th, and Trevor Burns getting passed for 8th by Ruben Galvez, falls back to 9th, and Dennis Fjellberg rounding out your top 10 once again. Back out front with your leader, who has a very comfortable gap at this point in time. About a rhythm section ahead of Austin Eklund. As Bloom goes down, that's going to allow Austin Eklund to either pass him or get very close. And it looks like he's going to get by and move into that 1st place spot. Barton in 3rd, Saunders in 4th. And this is a very tight-knit battle between what this is. 3rd to 10th? The 3rd to 8th, I'm sorry. As Burns runs into the back of Aaron Rockefeller in that corner. Back out front with Austin Eklund, who has a little bit of a gap over Yannick. Not much, as they're already coming into lap riders 5 laps into this main event. And again, this group of riders is very close as Burns makes the pass on Rockefeller after the finish line. And we see Emilian Mabru go down into the corner after the over-under. Back out front with Eklund will go on board for his next lap and just see what pace these 450 guys out front are running. During 250s, we saw a lot of 101s out of the number 33. We'll see what Eklund's turning as he runs a 1 minute point 1 last lap. If he makes a mistake, that's going to let Bloom catch up and go right on by as he had to double the Supercross triple. Pokes his nose on the inside, has to go double triple in the next rhythm. Saunderson still holding on to third over Carter. Rockefeller moves up into fifth, Mabry 6th, Fjellberg 7th, Berarden 8th, Clint 9th. And it looks like... Did I miss? Burns is in 6th, I'm sorry. Very close battle between your top two right now, as they do have a good gap over Cody Saunderson and Braden Carter. We will see how long that stands, because we know Carter is very fast, race pace wise. Your start setup champion, Aaron Rockefeller, sitting back into the 5th place position. Running 102s, consistently pretty much so far. Dennis Fjellberg makes the move on Trevor Burns for the 6th place position. Falling back to 7th would be Burns. Escura 8th, Mabry 9th, Ruben Galvez 10th. Clinton Martin moving up into the 11th place spot after a very bad start, falling outside of the top 20, along with Logan Heagney, who was in 20th at the beginning of the race. Johnny Padani moving out from last. He's looking to get the Driver of the Day award. Dale Mullins, forgetting how to hit corners, lets Wastel, Pearson, and Barton by. As Barton goes down, that's going to let Pearson, Ewan, Dale, Wastel by. Back up to the front, as it looks like Bloom has pulled away a little bit from Eklund. Saunderson has maintained his position over Carter, and Rockefeller makes a move on Carter. Carter falls back to 5th. Trevor Burns moves back into 6th place, getting by Dennis Fjellberg. As Galvez is going to make the pass on a lapped rider. Clinton Martin moving into the top 10 after a very poor start as Heagney goes down after the whoops, allowing Padani to move into that 11th place spot. Back out front with Bloom. We'll take an onboard lap with him as well, with your top qualifier, as he turns a 1 minute point 1. As Bloom makes a mistake going into the rhythm section for us to double in, that's going to allow Austin to catch up a 2nd and a 10th so far on this lap, just in that one rhythm section after pulling out 3/10 in that flat corner. A 101 flat, followed up by Austin's 1 minute point 3. Rockefeller, with his last lap being a 1 minute point 9, falls back 25 seconds off the leaders as he goes down on the whoops, letting Saunderson, Fjellberg, Carter, and that would be everybody that gets by. As Trevor Burns is being chased down by Clint Martin, battling for that 8th place position. Back out front with the top 2. A very close battle for these guys, both of them being very heavy hitters in the class. Both of them having to avoid lappers like crazy. As we are just over halfway through this main event, 10 minutes and a lap left to go. Saunderson holding on to third as Carter moves up into the fourth place position. Rockefeller back into fifth. Geldberg, sixth place. Clint Martin, seventh. Galvez, eighth. Johnny Padani in ninth. And Trevor Burns falls back into the 10th place position. As that was Bloom that went down. So that's going to allow Austin Eklund to take the lead as he's lapping a huge group of riders. As he makes the move up the inside. Number 696 not really letting him go. As Bloom is forced to roll double before the finish line. That's going to allow Austin to pull a very good gap away from him. Saunderson still maintaining that third place. Carter, though, right behind him. Rockefeller in the 5th place position. Fieldberg 6th. Clint Martin 7th. Padani 8th. Trevor Burns down in 9th. That's going to let Emilian Maverick back by. And Darius Gurr as well. And Burns, I'm guessing, went down again. Gets Riley Hewen by. And again, another person with a very bad start moving up into the top 10 positions. As Trevor Burns is going to make it past Logan Heagney again. And as we see, the leader has lapped past 9th already. I believe he's also past 10th. Oh, no. As Eklund has a very comfortable lead as he goes down with a lapper. After the finish line, that's going to let Janik get right back behind. As Hewen unlaps himself. Aaron Rockefeller moving up in the 3rd place position, followed by Braden Carter in 4th. Saunderson moves back to 5th. Fieldberg and Clint battling for that 6th place spot. Padani 8th. Iskura 9th. Maverick 10th. Hewen 11th. Burns 12th. Just got done being lapped by Austin Eklund, who moves in. Trevor Burns moving up into the 11th place position. As a lapper cutting across the track, not letting the leader just move on by. Carter up into the 3rd place position after Aaron Rockefeller makes a mistake, moving back to that 4th place, followed by Saunderson. Fieldberg and Clint both still going at it for that 6th place position. Very close battles. Clint's able to get the triple in, but has to go step on. And Fieldberg still retaining that 6th place spot. Donnie's still in 8th, Iskura in 9th. Trevor Burns moves back into the top 10 over Riley Hewen. Back out front, Janik Bloom has taken the lead over Austin Eklund. Carter moves into 3rd. Rockefeller still 4th. As it looks like the lappers are not taking it very easy on the leaders at the moment. As Padani's moved up into 6th, Clint Martin back in 7th, Bjelberg falls back to 8th, followed by Andoni Ezcura in 9th, and Trevor Burns still in 10th. Riley Hewen closing in, though, on that 10th place position. The E-Road has really gotten deep in these corners, allowing some of these riders to carry a little bit more speed than per usual. Lap time wise, Bloom has a 59.2 so far this moto. A little far off with this last lap time, but not too bad so far this race. As we have a little over 5 minutes left in this main event. Burns moved his way all the way up into 6th now. Got past Andoni and Johnny Padani. Clint Martin down in the berm. Pablo Vial. As Bloom makes a mistake, that's going to allow Austin to get real close. As Clint Martin being a really good lapper, getting out of the way. This is really close. This is the closest Shota to have been in a while so far this main event. As a lapper getting in the way of Austin Eklund, looks like he's going to be able to get through clean. As Eklund making a little mistake coming out of the whoops, was still able to get the triple in. That's going to allow him to make the pass as he gets tangled up with a lapper and goes down. That is unfortunate for Austin Eklund's campaign to win this main event. Still holding on a second over Braden Carter, who's a little while back, along with Aaron Rockefeller. Trevor Burns in the 8th place position, Bjelberg in 9th, and Hewen getting run off the track by a lapper in 10th. That'd be Brock Pearson. There's a little bit of a battle going on for this 7th place position. Back up to the lead, Austin Eklund going over the berm. We're entering the track not too far ahead of Carter. As Carter's pace around this track, not the quickest, still not close to what Bloom was running, but still in the low 1 minute lap times. As Austin Eklund makes a mistake and Carter's going to get into the back of him but make the pass. As Bloom has stretched out a very large lead over the 2nd place ride. Eklund falling back to 3rd, Aaron Rockefeller in 4th, not too far back. As Burns goes down in 6th, that's going to let Padani back by, along with Andoni Ezcura. And Bjelberg not close behind Burns now. Back out front with your leader. Still running in the low 1 minute 101 lap time category. And it looks like next time by will be white flag. As Carter in second, Eklund falling a little bit back in third, and Rockefeller still holding on to that fourth place, along with Saunderson still holding on to fifth. As white flag is out for Yannick Bloom. Eklund still holding on to that third place spot. Rockefeller still in fourth. Saunderson fifth. Padani sixth. Iskura in seventh. Burns eighth. Fjellberg ninth. And Vial rounding out your top 10. As Riley Hewen rolls the finish and gets into it with his teammate Clinton Martin while letting Braden Carter by as he jumps back into the track over the whoops. As Brock Pearson almost going down coming out of the whoop section. As it looks like Austin Eklund is getting through. That was Riley Hewen and Clinton Martin making a mistake before the Supercross triple with Brock Pearson. And back out front with your leader, Yannick Bloom. As we see Dennis getting a little wild coming into the second last corner. And Yannick Bloom will take your 450 main event win for the AU Series. Followed by Braden Carter holding down second place with a very decent gap over Austin Eklund. As Carter goes down in the last turn, Eklund making a mistake as well. Still possible for him to get close to him. Maybe get it off of cuts, but Carter is up and gone and will take second place in the 450 main event. And Austin Eklund will round out your podium. Aaron Rockefeller with a very good ride ends up looking like he's going to finish in fourth place. Cody Saunderson fifth. Followed by Johnny Padani in sixth. Andoni seventh. Burns in eighth. After Dennis Fjellberg has been lapped, so he cannot lose that position. And who are we waiting on to finish? That would be Dale Mullins. And your top 5 will stay the same. It looks like the entire lineup will as well. So your top 10 is Yannick Bloom, Braden Carter, Austin Eklund, Aaron Rockefeller, Cody Saunderson, Johnny Padani, Andoni Iskura, Trevor Burns, and Dennis Fjellberg rounding out the top 10. And thank you all for coming out. I very much appreciate the support on the streams for both the NA and AU series. And I will be going live next on on Friday for the NA series live. Thank you very much.